Peace, AGG Nation. This is AGG, your average gun guy. And unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, you guys know that the ATF has just passed their pistol brace ban, which is, to me, a bunch of BS. And I'm sure to a bunch of you, you would agree, a bunch of BS. The ATF does not have the right or the ability to pass laws like this. So, what are you guys gonna do out there? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna share that with you guys because I'm not gonna promote anyone to do anything, any direction other than what you choose to want to do. And that should be the right thing for you and your family. So with that being said, guys, the state of Arkansas, there's sheriffs out there that are saying they are not going to support this ATF pistol brace ban. That's going to affect at least between 4 to 40 million Americans. So they're not supporting it. And hopefully other sheriffs around the country will pick up on that same idea and that same mentality and not enforce that as well. Because it is ultimately up to the state and then the local laws to enforce this law. It's completely ridiculous, guys. I mean, they're telling us that we have 120 days to either destroy the weapon, turn it into the ATF, remove the pistol brace, get the tax stamp, which they're saying they're going to waive the $200 tax stamp fee per rifle that you have, or per pistol that you have, and give you this time period to this amnesty period, so to speak, to go ahead and get that taken care of. So if you guys have got anything that looks like this with the brace on it and the barrel is shorter than 16 inches, this is what they're wanting you guys to go and get tax stamps on and get registered. Complete BS, complete total BS. The NRA is going to file suit on this very shortly. Probably they've already done so by the time I'm releasing this video. But there will be plenty of lawsuits out there. We have to stick together, guys. If we stick together, it'll be much harder to enforce these ridiculous ideas and enforce them onto the people. So stick together, guys. Speak to your local officials. Let's let them know that our rights to bear arms will not be infringed upon. All right, guys, take a look at this little video from the Arkansas news source and to see what the sheriffs out there are doing.
Arkansas sheriff's offices are pushing back against a new gun policy from the ATF.
And this new federal rule says those who use an attachment called a brace stabilizer will now have to register their weapon with the government. TV 11 Sarah Habakowitz explains the debate about what's legal and what might not be legal.
The debate surrounds this brace that you can add on to a firearm. Now the ATF is putting out new regulations saying if you add this on to a gun, you're going to have to register it with the government.
Gun control groups support it, but not everyone agrees with the policy.
A lot of, otherwise legal gun owners now felt that that they could be arrested and potentially charged and convicted of a felony.
That's why Stone County Sheriff Brandon Long and the Cleburne County Sheriff's Office shared online this week that their offices would not assist the federal government in enforcing this policy.
My agency is not going to be housing citizens or making any arrests in reference to non-compliance of this act.
But is that legal? I asked law professor Robert Steinbeck with UA Little Rock.
Well, in fact, it's not their job to enforce a federal rule. They are involved in state law, and depending where, not even all of the state law.
Also, enforcing the new policy could actually go against Arkansas law that restricts federal regulation on firearms in the state.
Whether the part that applies to state employees is legal, I think it is. But there's an argument actually that you can't even prohibit that.
But federal offices can still enforce the brace restriction. The ATF telling THV11 in part that they are the lead federal law enforcement agency responsible for enforcing the National Firearms Act and will continue to work with local, state, and federal partners to combat violent crime in our communities. Lindsay Nichols with Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence says this attachment has been used in mass shootings, telling us last month in support of the rule.
Registration means that the people who own these guns go through a very thorough background check, and they know they will be held accountable if these guns are used in crime.
Unofficial federal estimates show between 3 and 40 million brace stabilizers will have to be registered within 120 days of this rule going into effect.
But it's all up to interpretation as this rule comes into play.
As is all law.
Reporting in Little Rock, Sarah Horbakowitz, THV 11 News.
And Faith, the National Rifle Association